What I'm about to break down might be the most exciting, under-the-radar, absolutely slept-on storyline of the entire Chicago Bears offseason. And no, it has nothing to do with Caleb Williams' smile lighting up the quarterback room like the 4th of July. And no, it's not about Rome Odunze catching everything in sight like he's got magnets for hands, or Keenan Allen showing these young bucks how to run routes so precise they could cut diamonds. And I'm not even talking about DeAndre Swift gliding through holes like he's playing on ice skates while defenders look like they're wearing ankle weights. No, what I'm about to walk you through is the secret sauce, the hidden chess move that Ryan Poles and Richard Hightower just pulled off while the rest of the league was still fumbling with their draft boards and mock drafts and free agent buzz because, let's face it, everybody sees the headlines, the mock drafts, the press conferences, but almost nobody is looking at the back end of the roster, the corners of the depth chart, the dark horse spots where real team building is done, and that's exactly what happened when the Bears signed not one, but two undrafted rookie free agents. Yes, undrafted. The guys nobody talks about on ESPN, the ones you don't see in Mel Kiper's final big board. But if you know football, and I mean really know football, then you know these are the kinds of players who can end up being the heartbeat of a locker room. The glue guys, the spark plugs, the guys who bust their tail on special teams, earn trust, and one day make a play that changes the course of a game. And those two players, ladies and gentlemen, are J.D. Walker out of Texas A&M and J.P. Richardson out of TCU, two wide receivers by position but straight-up warriors by mindset, two players who may have been overlooked by 32 teams for 7 rounds, but who just landed in the perfect storm of opportunity in Chicago, because when you break this down, it's not just about them being good, it's about them being right for this team, right for this culture, and right for what Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson are trying to build. And when you zoom all the way out, you start to realize something big is brewing here. Not just a good Bears roster, not just a team that might win a few more games this year. No, we're talking about the foundation of something sustainable, something tough, something balanced, and yes, something exciting. And you don't get that by accident. You get that by stacking the roster with not just stars, but grinders, hustlers, team-first maniacs who will do anything to earn their role. And that's exactly what both J.D. Walker and J.P. Richardson represent. So let's start from the top, J.D. Walker. And let me just say it right now. The man is a beast in waiting, a diamond in the rough, a walking mismatch waiting to be discovered. Because when you look at his physical profile alone, your eyes pop. 6'2", 199 pounds, 34.5-inch vertical, a 4.45 40 time that makes defensive backs sweat, and oh yeah, one of the nastiest three-cone times you'll see from a guy his size, 6.71, which is elite, like legit elite. And if you know anything about route running, acceleration, and change of direction, that three-cone number tells you everything. This guy moves like a small receiver in a big receiver's body, which is exactly the kind of trait that gets coaches excited, because you can't coach that, you can't teach that, and you sure as hell can't fake that. And here's the kicker. People forgot about him after 2024 because his production dipped. But why did it dip? Was it because he suddenly forgot how to play football? Nope. Was it because he didn't work hard? Nah. It was because he was getting double-teamed, keyed in on by SEC defenses, and still managed to produce 29 catches for 345 yards and 2 touchdowns while averaging 11.9 yards per catch in a down year, which, let's be honest, is still more productive than a lot of WR3s in the NFL. But let's rewind to 2023, because that's where the real story lives. 35 catches, 590 yards, 16.9 yards per catch, and a YAC rate that would make Deebo Samuel proud. This dude isn't just catching the ball and going down, he's breaking tackles, spinning out of defenders' arms, dragging corners for extra yards, and turning routine slants into highlight tapes. And that right there is exactly what Ben Johnson wants in his wide receiver room. Guys who can catch a 5-yard hitch and take it 35, who turn broken plays into magic, who bring violence and burst every time they touch the ball. And look, we already have the flash with Rome Odunze, the precision with Keenan Allen, the explosiveness with DJ Moore, but J.D. Walker brings that big-bodied, under-control chaos, that physicality mixed with finesse. And when you look at the Bears' current depth chart, He fills a need, not necessarily a starting need, but a depth need, because outside of Rome, we don't have a true big-bodied outside receiver who also has agility and special teams upside, and Walker brings that in spades. Oh, and speaking of special teams, did I mention this dude wants to play it? Like, asked to play it? At his pro day, he walked in, introduced himself to teams as a wide receiver and a special teamer, said he was ready to block punts, cover kicks, run routes, return balls, whatever it takes to make the roster. And I don't know about you, but I'd take 10 of those guys on my team any day, because that's the type of energy that wins locker rooms and earns jerseys. And the way he talks, the way he moves, you can tell he's not in this just to hang around the practice squad. He's gunning for someone's job, and that fire is contagious. But wait, we're not done. Because right when you think the Bears already hit a home run, they go ahead and pull off the double by signing J.P. Richardson, and this guy is like J.D.'s long-lost twin, except his game has a little more flash, a little more finesse, and a whole lot of special teams swagger, because where J.D. is the grinder who will block you into the Gatorade table, J.P. is the slasher who will catch the punt, juke the first two defenders out of their shoes, and turn upfield like he's been shot out of a cannon, and in 2023 and 2024, he did just that, returning a combined 29 punts for over 330 yards and a touchdown, with averages north of 11 yards per return, which, if you're not familiar with return stats, is very solid, especially for a college player doing it while also playing wide receiver. And guess what? He's also 6'2", 199 pounds, runs a 4.53, and verticals 34.5 inches, just like JD. And while his relative athletic score, RAS, was a little lower at 714 compared to JD's 882, it's still well above average, and what he might lack in raw athletic freakiness, he more than makes up for in football IQ, leadership, consistency, and that oh-so-important dog mentality. Because in his own words, JP said, "I just show up every day, try to be the same person, bring good energy, and go hard at practice." And let me tell you something, that quote belongs on a Bears t-shirt. Because that's exactly what Poles and Johnson want from every single player in the building. Guys who bring it every day, no complaints, no shortcuts, just relentless effort, positive vibes, and that unteachable fire in the belly. And that's why these two pickups are so much more than afterthoughts or throwaway signings. They're calculated, strategic, and aligned with everything the Bears are building. And don't forget, this team is still looking for contributors on special teams after losing guys like DeAndre Carter. And while we have some reliable names like Eamon Ogbongbemiga, Josh Blackwell, and Daniel Hardy, special teams is a unit that thrives on depth, rotation, and sudden impact. And if either JD or JP, or better yet both, can carve out a role there, then they're already making this team better from day one. And from there, the sky's the limit, because we've seen it before. Undrafted guys who start on special teams and end up making plays on offense, becoming trusted pieces in crunch time, and even earning starting roles. And I'm telling you right now, don't be surprised if one of these guys is out there in December, catching a clutch pass from Caleb on 3rd and 7 in a must-win divisional game. Because the way this roster is being built, the opportunity is there, and it's not just about talent anymore. It's about culture, mentality, and the will to do what others won't. And these two rookies, they've got it all, and now it's time to watch them go to work.